Democracy's a fucking joke, and it's embarrassing how close this election is, despite who the incumbent is. I really want to shame Trump supporters, but at the same time, like, Joe Biden does not look trustworthy. The man looks like a fucking NPC from like LA Noir, like one of the guilty ones. And like the things he says does not make him any more trustworthy. The man just like kinda, I don't know. Man just looks untrustworthy as hell, bottom line. Like, if he wasn't the only choice, I wouldn't trust this man. To be honest with you, I don't trust this man, but I trust him more than the incumbent. And I understand that he's not technically like the only choice. There was Joe Jorgensen for the Libertarian Party. There was, Kanye West, I guess, and whatever. But this wasn't the year, man. Like, if you voted for a third party or you wrote someone in other than like Joe Biden, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. Like, just you're better off not voting, because your vote isn't doing anything. If anything, your vote is just aiding the incumbent. You're just aiding another 4 years of Cheeto, which, like, maybe that's what you want and you just don't want to have like the guilt of like voting for a fucking monster, but you're just selfish. I'm sorry. It's just like, this isn't 2016 where it was just a battle of the unknown and just the thought of either Hillary or Trump was just scary, and maybe voting third party, or maybe writing in a meme like Harambe or D's nuts or something was just more edgy and was just funnier than the reality that one of those two people were going to lead our country. But here we are in 2020, and one of those people does lead our country, and he's done a pretty piss poor job at it. Like, what are y'all signing off on? What do y'all see that I don't see? Like, this man has crippled thousands of small businesses. He has stagnated the middle class because the tax cuts that he has made, his huge tax breaks only really impact the top 10%. And that's doing nothing for the middle class or for the low class or for anybody else other than that. He's not a good person. Like, all of y'all who are like anti-Biden or anti-liberal or pro-Trump or just like whatever, y'all are so fast to harp on like the 35% increase on taxes, like y'all really make enough to even be affected by that whatsoever. Like, I know half of y'all are either working a serving job right now or are making like $10 an hour, maybe $15 an hour, but that's it. Y'all are not going to be affected by this. Y'all do not make $400,000 a year. Y'all are not the top 1%. Y'all are not Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. Y'all are fucking low-class citizens who are scraping by with your fucking college debt, if y'all even go to college, because I know a lot of y'all can't even afford to go to college. These taxes would go towards better healthcare, better schooling, better whatever. Anything that's not, I don't even know. I'm just really amazed on like how many low-class citizens, how many poverty-line citizens are pro-Trump to the point of like to the point of worship. Like, they really think that this man sees them as anything more than a pile of dirt or a pawn or a stepping stone. They really think this man cares about them. Like Hunty. That goes for a lot of immigrants too. Like, I have a lot of friends who are either first generation Americans or second generation Americans whose parents either are barely citizens, are scraping by with a green card, or aren't citizens at all and are just undocumented. But either way, like, for a lot of them, the result is the same. Like, their parents just have like this undying love and this head over heels affection and attraction to Donald J. Trump. And I just don't get it. Like, one of my friend's mom was like, man, I don't want Biden to win because he's gonna let immigrants into the country and they're gonna take American jobs and unemployment's gonna rise. And then like we're gonna go into debt and it's just gonna be bad for the country. But like, there's a huge hole in that because she is currently an unemployed immigrant in Donald Trump's America, taking out her problems on Joe Biden, who hasn't even been elected president yet. It just doesn't make sense. Up next, I'd really like to talk about like how outdated the voting process is and how long it's taking to find out a winner. even though a lot of the voting process is automated and it's 2020 and not 1810. Like, the machines that you cast your ballot on are electronic. It's an automated system, like excluding mail-in voting, of course, of course. But whether it's early voting or a day of, like, you're casting your ballot on an automated system. Your vote should automatically be tallied, either, to first party, second party, third party, whatever. Wherever your vote is going, it should automatically be tallied. The fact that I can put up a poll on Twitter right now and I'd have results whenever I want, or at the very least, I would have interaction with it and I would be able to see the interaction in fucking now. It's sad. Like, what year is this? Like back to my point, this isn't 1810, this is fucking 2020. Like, this isn't just exclusive to Twitter either. I can do this on any social media site. I can start a petition anywhere. I can start anything and get interaction with it in like real time, because we live in the modern age. We live in the information age. God. Like, the fact that we've been using the same technology to cast votes since, I'd say, at least the Clinton administration is kind of sad. Like, we're one of, if not the top mega power in the world. We should have a little bit better technology to cast the votes of 1 billion people. Like, God, man, this isn't the Soviet Union. This isn't just like fucking some random ass country in the middle of nowhere with like primitive technology. We aren't cavemen. Like, once again, this is excluding mail-in voting, which was doomed to take forever to count up after Republicans voted not to like even open up any of the mail-in votes until the day of the election, which was a stupid idea, saying that like mail-in voting, it was not half of like all the votes, because like there was a huge turnout for early voting and for day of voting, but it was still a good 20 to 30% of the entire votes, and we didn't open those up before at all to even like start separating them at all. It's just a little sad that Little Caesars has better technology to pick up my pizza, and ATMs anywhere have a better user interface than the machines to cast my ballot on. Like, what? It's just sad. What's also really sad is how many Americans, it seems, don't understand how voting works. Like, one of my friends on Snapchat, I kind of like say friends with like some like air quotes, but one of my friends was like, oh, so you're gonna tell me that 400,000 people voted for Biden at 4 a.m. in Michigan last night? Like, no, you fucking moron. Like, no, it just so happens that we just have hundreds of thousands of ballots that haven't even been opened and are just now being sifted through. And it just went up until 4 a.m. because that was the system that was agreed on to be put in place. Like, I'm not crying, you're crying from the stupidity of this. Some more stupidity in place. I think it's a little ironic. Like, Trump's mad that a lot of the mail-in ballots are in favor of Biden after he told his supporters not to trust mail-in voting because it was fraudulent and there was tampering involved. Like, come on, man. You can't be serious. What do you want, Cooker? What do you want, Cooker? What is it? What, you gonna jump up here? What? Come here. Come here. Come. Oh, what are you doing, baby? I think that's it, honestly. I think I've just kind of exhausted myself. I have nothing else of value to really say. Not that I really said anything of value thus far. I just wanted to rant a little bit. Like, watching a live cast of the election go on for the past day and a half, it's just made me really think on like how stupid people are, how stupid this aborted fetus we call democracy is, whenever this is so far from what democracy should be and how it should act. It's made me realize how much of a baby Trump is, and how I don't think this man has ever like taken a clean loss in his life. I think that this election, much like the 2016 election, but in a different way and in a much bigger way, has been very eye-opening, very important, and it should set a precedent for the future for America. Like, this isn't the way that a country should operate. This isn't the way that anything should operate. And I don't know. The coming weeks, the coming days, the coming months are going to be much more interesting to see who wins, as this is all just kind of coming down to Nevada at this point. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if protests really do happen. It's going to be interesting to see if Trump boxes himself in and if he refuses to leave office. If he does get voted out, you know, this is all just hypothetical. It's very interesting to see. I don't know. Yeah, no, I just want to, like, real quick, you know, just like give a shout out to some countries that I've never talked shit about, that I've always loved, and that I would love to gain citizenship in. Canada. I have never once referred to you guys as Canada. I have never once said that y'all are a fake country, and I have never once invalidated you guys. Iceland. I think y'all are badass, you know? Denmark and Sweden. And I'll even add Norway into there, I guess. Fuck, man, he just hit the frame. I'll even add Norway into this. Y'all are beautiful, man. Give me a shout out. Come on, shout your boy Poopy out. New Zealand and Australia as a whole. Y'all are fucking dope, dude, and I would love to live there. I love cold ones. Max Mofo, anything for views. Peter Jackson, fucking, I don't know, the Lord of the Rings movies. What else happened there? Lord, I love Lord's music. Like, come on, man. Freaking Royals. Melodrama's a fucking bop. The entire United Kingdom. Hit me up, man. I would love to do numbers with you guys. I don't know, man. I know you wouldn't expect like a serious political video from a guy with the name Poopy McMuff, but I just had to get this off my chest. Thank you guys for listening to me rant, and leave a like if you think we should reform the voting process and switch it out with Twitter polls. Also, comment down below who is the sexiest vice president of all time. Thank you for your time. Tony Hawk footage coming soon.